we'll have some more details. But to take us through what the primary tariff details look like, Sumita Karir, my colleague, is now joining us. Sumita, afternoon. Colleague is now joining us. Sumita, afternoon. All right, we'll try to connect to Sumita in just a bit, but in the meanwhile, let me take you through everything that has come in so far. Now, remember, from the India-EU FTA, we have 20 to 30% tariff, which will now be levied on wine, 40% on spirit, and 50% on beer. Now, remember, alco beverage is one industry which was heavily impacted on account of heavy tariffs that were being levied by EU, and perhaps some kind of relief could be coming in for this counter. Apart from that, India, this deal has removed and cut high tariffs on EU agri-food products. So agri is another sector which is likely to benefit on account of this India-EU trade deal, which is likely to be signed today, and perhaps we'll have some more details in just a few minutes from now. They are also proposing zero tariff on iron and steel products, lower tariff on 250,000 vehicles a year. Remember, we had some details yesterday with respect to import of auto products into India, where competition could rise for domestic automakers on account of lower tariffs, which will now be imposed on import of auto products into India. So auto sector is one sector which is likely to be negatively impacted on account of intensifying competition into India. Remember, this will also eliminate tariffs on over 90% EU goods. One, of course, trade is likely to inch higher between India and the European Union, but the demerit, of course, will be intensifying competition, especially for some sectors like the auto sector. Sumita is now with us. Sumita, if you can hear me, what are the primary details that we are getting in, and what kind of expectations should we build in ahead of that press conference?
You know, the primary details, Ashesha, will get in a while. In fact, what we're given to understand right now is that European Commission members, including the President Ursula von der Leyen, the Council President, along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will be exchanging statements shortly. They held a meeting with each other. This was a bilateral meeting that both sides held on India-EU summit, and of course how bilateral trade, which was to the tune of $136 billion in annual goods trade, how can that be taken forward. In fact, Ursula von der Leyen has also tweeted about this historic engagement, this historic bilateral deal, stated that India and Europe are making history. Today we have concluded the mother of all trade deals. We have created a trade-free zone for 2 billion people. So this is going to be important given the fact that the size of the deal, this is going to sort of cushion India from some of the tariff impact that it is facing from the United States. On the side of European Union as well, it is looking at trusted partners to sort of do trade with, and of course the recent skirmishes with the United States on the matter of Greenland do help it with respect to that. So what does the EU essentially get as part of the deal? Well, it gets market access to a huge range of products. In fact, there will be reduction in maximum production as far as tariff lines are concerned on both the EU side and India side as well. Agriculture, we've been told in the recent past, has been kept out of the deal. So sensitivities from both the sides, they have actually been respected. What we're going to be hearing now, well, joint statements from both the sides, EU and India, and then around at 4:30 p.m. there will be a press briefing by India's Commerce Secretary, India's Commerce Minister, along with India's Foreign Secretary and the EU trade delegation members as well. But this one is going to be historic. Why? Because it will sort of boost access for chemicals, electricals, leather, and other handmade goods. And of course, services will also get a boost. Besides that, manufacturing will also get a boost. Manufacturing will get a boost. How? Because Europe is looking at diversifying away from China, and India is just the right spot to sort of catch that.
So several sectors are likely to benefit on account of increased trade between India and the European Union, and that is the reason several sectors, including the auto sector, the agriculture sector, especially because agri exports to the European Union, are also expected to inch higher on account of this India-EU FTA. Now, let me take you through some more details. India is likely to cut tariff on 99.6% of import value from the European Union. And India will gradually cut tariffs on cars from 110% currently to 10% now. So clearly, auto sector is one sector which is likely to face intensifying competition, and that is precisely the reason auto index, in fact, in today's trade is under pressure. We'll try and cover this in greater detail. We will also have the footage from the press conference start coming in just a few minutes from now. But before that, let's slip into a short break. Our coverage will continue on the other side.